Can you feel the subtle hum beneath your skin, the gentle vibration that pulses through the space around you, carrying the weight of every thought, every feeling, every unspoken belief? Most of us live believing the world outside defines our reality. Our work, our money, our relationships, the constant flow of news and events, thinking all we can do is respond, adapt, survive. But the truth is, reality is not a rigid stage. It is liquid, alive, sensitive to the frequencies we emit. Imagine yourself as both transmitter and receiver, each thought, each emotion, each quiet conviction, sending waves into the quantum field. The universe does not deliver what you wish for, it mirrors who you are. Effort alone, the constant push and striving, only creates friction, like pressing against water and expecting it to freeze in place. Can you sense the difference between demanding change and embodying it? Until you attune your inner rhythm, the song of your life remains the same. Most people try to force reality forward, visualizing while doubting, taking action while fearing, speaking affirmations while secretly expecting failure. These mixed signals do not confuse the universe. They match perfectly with the dominant vibration you are holding. Science calls it the observer effect, showing that even particles shift when watched, proving your awareness is a creative force, not a passive witness. When your thoughts, emotions, and body chemistry are coherent, they form a strong, organized signal, collapsing possibilities into the outcome that matches your vibration. The moment you start living as the version of yourself who already holds the reality you desire, you begin pulling that version closer. But the paradox is clear. Many try to control their lives while staying in lack, doubt, and tension. The field is not slow, it is precise, perfectly reflecting the energy you emit. Are you ready to feel this pulse, to step into the frequency that shapes your world from the inside out? Today you are invited to enter a new experience, one where your inner state becomes the compass that guides all external events. For the next few minutes, allow yourself to step in a rhythm where influence over your life comes not from pushing harder, but from aligning deeper, letting your inner current set the pace. Most of us have been taught to wait for external signals before changing how we feel inside, measuring reality by what we can see, touch, or logically explain. That conditioning keeps us spinning in reactive loops, cycling through the same challenges with only new faces, places, or events. Imagine waking up and checking your accounts or messages, feeling that familiar weight of stress, tension, or lack. Can you feel the subtle vibration of that response? How it broadcasts a signal into the universe, whispering, "This is my reality"? The field does not argue, it only mirrors. And so without realizing it, every anxious thought, every moment of doubt, every attempt to force outcomes reinforces the very frequency you wish to escape. How often do you mistake reaction for control, believing that more hustle, more action, more effort will bend reality to your will? In truth, action without alignment is like rowing against a river that never slows, exhausting, endless, and ineffective. But when your inner state is coherent, centered, and aligned, action transforms. It flows effortlessly. Opportunities arrive as if magnetized. Connections deepen. Ideas move through you without resistance. That is not coincidence. That is coherence made tangible. Your nervous system records this alignment. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity. Repeatedly inhabiting a state of clarity, confidence, or abundance strengthens neural pathways, making that state your natural baseline. And your baseline is precisely what the universe reflects back. Every repeated emotion, thought, or subtle inner state you cultivate today shapes the reality you will experience tomorrow. Can you feel the weight of that truth? Your life in this moment is the culmination of yesterday's frequencies. Your life next week, next month, next year is already being co-created right now. Most people attempt to change circumstances without first shifting their inner frequency, thinking that more external action will fix everything. They work harder, hustle longer, push further, and when results do not appear, the sense of powerlessness deepens. But alignment first transforms effort. When you prioritize internal coherence, action becomes effortless. Currents of life move with you, doors open naturally, and your experiences unfold in harmony with your vibration. If you have been living as if reality controls you, reacting to the world rather than leading from within, it is time to reverse that pattern. The universe responds instantly to the energy you hold, and the shift begins as soon as you choose to guide your internal state with intention, clarity, and presence. The next time something unwanted appears, pause before letting it dictate your mood, your energy, your state of being. What if you could choose your state first, hold it fully, anchor it so deeply that the external world naturally adjusts around you? When you embody that frequency completely, the old cause and effect game dissolves, and a new quantum rhythm emerges, where the effect flows from the alignment within. Imagine training your energy so that it responds on command, so you are never at the mercy of circumstances again. Your inner state is not just a thought in your head, it is an electromagnetic signal, a living broadcast interacting with the quantum field. The heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in your body, and the brain constantly communicates with it. When heart and mind align, thinking and feeling the same thing, they emit a coherent frequency. Coherence is order, harmony, alignment, like the waves of a laser perfectly in sync, traveling vast distances without losing power. Your consciousness works the same way. When coherent, your signal amplifies and stabilizes, and the field responds accordingly. Yet most people remain incoherent without noticing. They think abundance while feeling fear, speak gratitude while carrying resentment, visualize love while expecting rejection. Can you sense the subtle conflict in that signal? The field does not react to what you say you want. It responds to the frequency you truly hold. Your dominant frequency is shaped by emotion, because feelings move faster and stronger than thoughts when broadcasting into the field. Neuroscience confirms this. The limbic system, the emotional hub of the brain, can override rational thought in milliseconds. If you feel scarcity while thinking abundance, the feeling wins. That is why positive thinking alone rarely works. To transform reality, you must shift the emotional signature you project, not just the images or words in your mind. How does this tie to quantum mechanics? In the quantum world, a system exists in many potential states until observed. Your observation is energetic, not just visual. Fragmented states, conflicting thoughts, emotions, or sensations create multiple observations at once, keeping you in uncertainty and delay. Alignment collapses the probability wave into a reality that matches your coherent state. This is manifestation at the subatomic level, not magic, but the measurement of energy. Spiritual traditions have long taught this through prayer, meditation, presence, and surrender, quieting the noise, focusing intention, and harmonizing the body. Modern science calls this inducing coherence. When coherent, the field does not need persuasion. It mirrors your state instantly. Manifestation then feels effortless. It is not luck, it is resonance. Consider your inner state as tuning a radio. To hear a station clearly, you align the frequency precisely. Staying on a different frequency will never yield the desired signal. The quantum field works identically. If you desire abundance, you cannot remain tuned to scarcity and hope for a different outcome. You must sustain the frequency long enough for it to stabilize, and when it does, reality has no choice but to reflect it. The beautiful part is that the technology to shape your reality already exists within you. Your breath can regulate your nervous system, grounding and harmonizing your internal state. Your focus directs the flow of energy, like a lens channeling light precisely where it is needed. Your imagination builds the blueprint, and each conscious choice you make moment to moment keeps you vibrating in alignment with the reality you wish to call forth. Soon you will learn a method to train this alignment daily, so controlling your reality stops being a struggle and becomes a natural state of being. Precision in reality creation is cultivated the same way an athlete trains the body, not through relentless strain, but through consistent, deliberate alignment. Manifestation is not about doing more, pushing harder, or forcing outcomes. It is about maintaining a stable, coherent signal, one the quantum field can lock onto without interference. Each day, even for a few focused minutes, you can harmonize thoughts, emotions, and physical state. Can you feel how powerful that stillness can be? Step 1 begins in the body, not the mind. The first mistake is trying to shift reality while the body remains in the chemical imprint of the old state. Stress, doubt, and frustration leave chemical signatures that become your default frequency. You cannot project abundance from a body wired for tension. It is like sending a clear signal through a damaged antenna. Before you visualize, breathe. Slowly, deeply. Inhale through the nose for 5 counts. Exhale through the mouth for 7. Each breath sends a message through the vagus nerve that it is safe, lowering cortisol and inviting receptivity. Step 2 is to access the end state immediately. Once the body is calm, close your eyes and immerse yourself in the feeling of already having what you desire. Skip the how, skip the journey. Your task is to embody the destination. If financial freedom is your aim, feel the weight lifted from your chest. If love is your desire, feel warmth and connection flooding your body. Neuroscience confirms that the brain does not distinguish vividly imagined experiences from lived ones. The same neural pathways fire, programming your brain and body to inhabit that reality. Step 3 is to command and release. Many get stuck here, believing they must hold the vision all day or endlessly repeat affirmations. In quantum manifestation, repetition can signal doubt. A single, pure, coherent broadcast is enough. Once you feel the end state fully, speak your command internally. It is done. Then release. Move through your day knowing the field has received the instruction. This knowing transforms wishing into creating. Step 4 is to watch for micro shifts. The universe rarely delivers in grand, cinematic ways. Often the first signals are subtle, a chance encounter, a sudden idea, an unexpected resource. These micro-alignments go unnoticed by those scanning for proof in exact form. When you allow ease, infinite doorways appear, often in ways you never imagined. Now it is time to participate, to anchor this shift. If you are ready to move from wishing to commanding, from trying to aligning, declare it in the comments now. Say it with intention. I am in control of my reality. When you write, do not treat it as a quote to admire. Feel it in your body. Let these words resonate as the frequency you are holding right now. Imagine that the instant you embody this intention, the quantum field receives your signature and begins reshaping the probabilities surrounding you. Soon you will see why most people unknowingly sabotage their own alignment and how to prevent it, so your signal remains pure long enough for reality to rearrange itself in your favor. By now you understand that controlling reality is not about force, it is about coherence. Yet even after learning this, people often dismantle their own quantum alignment without awareness. These are the silent saboteurs, subtle patterns embedded so deeply that you cannot notice them until you know what to observe. Once recognized, they can be removed, allowing your manifestation to unfold without resistance. Saboteur 1, the frequency check. This happens when you set an intention and then spend the day scanning for proof. You check messages, emails, outcomes, wondering, is it here yet? Each glance, each doubt, broadcasts uncertainty. In quantum terms, observation collapses the wave. But if suspicion laces the observation, you collapse into the wrong timeline, the one where waiting persists. Trust does not check. Trust knows. Saboteur 2, emotional re-entry into the old reality. Your frequency is like a GPS signal. When you react to events from the mindset of your old self, getting frustrated in traffic, anxious about finances, irritated by delays, you ping the universe with the coordinates of your former reality. The field responds with perfect precision, matching you to that state again. Perfection is not required, nor emotionlessness. Awareness is. Notice when you slip and choose your state again immediately. Saboteur 3, overdoing in the name of action. There is a delicate difference between inspired action and desperate striving. Inspired action feels light, natural, almost effortless, arriving as a sudden urge or idea. Desperate action is heavy, calculated in fear, attempting to force outcomes. When your body is tense, your breath shallow, your mind overthinking, your frequency repels rather than attracts. Alignment cannot coexist with survival energy. Saboteur 4, the narrative loop. Humans tell stories constantly, yet often they reinforce scarcity or limitation. Thoughts like, "It's always hard for me," "This never works out," "People like me don't get breaks," create a rehearsal of vibration. The quantum field does not listen to words. It feels the emotional tone, the resonance behind the story. Change the story and you alter the signal. Saboteur 5, treating manifestation like a to-do list. This subtle trap arises when intention, meditation, and visualization are performed from the beta state of problem solving rather than the alpha-theta state of creation. When the subconscious is approached through logic and duty, the field interprets it as a problem to fix. True manifestation occurs in states of relaxed, open, creative receptivity. Here is the truth. None of these saboteurs require adding effort. They dissolve when you simplify your signal. The fewer actions or thoughts pulling you back into old reality, the faster the new reality stabilizes. Each conscious breath, each moment of aligned feeling, becomes a broadcast the field cannot ignore. Mastery of the quantum field is less about adding techniques and more about unlearning the reflexes that anchor you to the past. Imagine it now. The version of you who already lives your desired reality is not trying, not striving, not checking. They simply exist in that state. They do not spiral when small things go sideways. They do not overdo. They do not repeat the old story. They wake up in the frequency they have chosen and let the field do the rest. Your role is to start being that version now, not someday in the future. And when you do, something extraordinary shifts. The field no longer sees you as becoming, it sees you as being. And the moment you are being, there is nothing left to wait for. The change is already complete. You no longer chase reality, you simply embody it. Infinite timelines, infinite versions of you, all exist simultaneously. You are not moving toward your reality, you are selecting it. When your internal state aligns fully with the vibration of that reality, not just for a moment, not just in meditation, but as your new baseline, the shift is instantaneous. The apparent delay is only the time your senses take to catch up with what is already true in the field. Here is the activation I want to leave you with. For the next 24 hours, live as if there is nothing left to manifest. Let it sink deep. No checking, no wondering, no bargaining. Move, breathe, act, and respond as the version of you who already has everything they have ever desired. Order coffee like them, walk like them, answer messages like them, spend, speak, and breathe like them. This is not make-believe. In quantum physics, embodying the state collapses the wave. Embodiment does not ask when, it knows it is already done. When you do this, notice the shift. Pressure falls, mental noise fades. In that still space, the field finds room to respond. Paradoxically, the less you push, the faster it moves. The universe does not speak the language of effort. It responds to coherence. And if you feel the call to stabilize this frequency, to turn today's insight into a permanent state of being, there is a path deeper than mere understanding. My guidebook, Awaken Your Quantum Power, walks you through 7 core principles that anchor your frequency so reality has no choice but to match it. This is not about doing more. It is about stepping into the most aligned, efficient version of yourself. The one who magnetizes instead of chasing. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. There is a version of you already living everything you have ever wanted. They are calling. All you need is to answer, not with effort, but with being. Stop measuring how far you have to go. Start measuring how fully you can embody who you already are. That is when the field responds, confirming the match. From that moment, there is nothing left to wait for. The shift is complete. Step fully into the version of you who already has everything. Feel it, embody it, let the field respond. If this message resonates, hit subscribe so you never miss the guidance that helps you anchor your frequency and manifest with precision. Check the pinned comment to access the guidebook and continue stepping into your quantum power now.